Hello, hello. I'm currently on my way to the airport. We're gonna change the oil today. The weather doesn't look very promising the next couple of days. It's gonna get windy, it's gonna get stormy, and I need to get the oil changed before I leave on my trip on Friday. So we're gonna go up today and start the aircraft, go fly it for a little bit, get the oil nice and hot, and bring it back and drain the oil today. We're gonna let it drain for 24 hours. This is gonna be a 2-day process. You can actually make it a 30-minute process if you want to, but we're gonna make it a 2-day process. We're gonna drain the oil, let it drain overnight, and then we're going to come back again tomorrow, put on a new filter, and safety wire that filter. And I've got a new valve coming. It should arrive either tomorrow or Monday. We'll put that new valve on, and we will button everything up, fill it full of oil, and I got some cam guard, which is an additive that we're going to put in it. It helps protect the cam, and we should be good to go for another 50 hours of service for my aircraft. So looking forward to getting up and flying today. It is breezy and gusty today, but it's the best opportunity I have to be able to get up. It's not so breezy and gusty that it's telling me that not to go. So I do have my limits, and today is not going to be above that limit. So should be fun. We're going to go up, fly for about a half hour, to come back and drain the oil. See you in a bit. Alright, welcome in the Mooney. We have the guys get going because I got another guy's wanting to jet out of here, and so we're gonna quick fire it up. Rich. Pump, we got fuel pressure, we're gonna pump it 4 times. 4, and crack it. Alright. Starts right up. Starts right up. It's a bright one today. See, we are changing the oil. So like I said, what we're going to do is we're just going to fly up in the pattern. Not in the pattern, but we're going to go and fly around. Probably go up towards Boone. Just get the engine good and hot and bring it back. Makes the oil a lot easier to drain. The oil in this is like really thick stuff, and it's heavyweight, 2050 weight, I believe is what it is. So it's really thick and heavy, and hard to hard to drain when it's cold. So that's why we are going to get up in the air and get the engine hot, get the oil temperature up, and we'll go from there. So engine 1 cylinders are good. 2, 3. I got good stuff there, and 4. So we are actually reading good temperatures on cylinders and exhaust. So my little work job on the wiring for the number 3 cylinder on the CHT is now working. So that's a bonus. Perfect. We are money. All right. We'll go ahead and get ready to take off. We'll set our takeoff flaps. We've got 1, 2 pumps. We're squawking 1200. We got the fuel pump on. We're on the fullest tank, which is the right tank, baby. And we're on the right radio station.
Traffic, Arrow 2094 Tango is about 10 miles to the southwest at 3,500 and descending. Inbound for landing, Ames.
Ames traffic, Mooney 875 is departing runway 31 to the northwest. Ames. All right. Not even going to set anything into the... Here we go, baby. Let's burn some fuel. Come on, stop. Stop in the name of love before you break my heart. All right, we're stopped on the runway. We're going to get ready to go. On your mark, get set, ready, go. Power's coming up.
Traffic, Arrow 94 Tango is 8 miles southwest. At 3,000, we're coming straight to the left base for 31A.
And we're cruising up. Flaps up. Gear up. And we'll go and climb. And we are climbing out at 110 miles an hour, like 100 knots. Well, we heard the Cherokee the other day. We were cruising at 100 knots. We're climbing at 100 knots. Love it. Back off the power a little bit. Ames, beautiful Ames. Down below us, we've got Hilton Coliseum right there. See that, Hilton? And Jack Trice right here. Woohoo, can't see it, behind the pole. But yeah, there's good old Hilton Coliseum right there. Iowa State men's basketball and the women. How about those Hawkeyes though, man? I tell you what, they did really well playing against the #1 team in the country, the undefeated team. They gave them their only loss. I love it. Flying over the Ames campus now. All right, let's do some maneuvering. Let's do some maneuvering. 3,500. There we are, got a good sight picture. And we will turn to the left. Clear, clear, clear. We will bank it.
Ames traffic, Arrow 94 Tango, short final, runway 31. Ames.
Whee! I love this stuff. I'm gonna buy myself an aerobatic plane next. That sounds like a plan. I'm sure the wife will love that one. Come back. All right, let's do some slow flight. We're gonna get up high. We're gonna do some slow flight. Pull down the speed a little bit. We're gonna give ourselves some mixture. We are gonna go that. We're gonna lower the gear. Why would we lower the gear, you say? Because we're gonna simulate landings. We'll stay at this altitude. Right here at 70, we are barely climbing. It's trimmed out so I don't have to fight it as much. You're at 65 miles an hour right now, slow flight. Full flaps and make a right turn here. Full flaps. .65. Gear down, full flaps.
Right turn. There's 60. Going 42 knots across the ground. It's touchy, it's slow. Feel like I'm really pitched up though to maintain this altitude. All right, we're gonna go ahead and give her some power.
English traffic, Cessna 1261 uniform.
You're up.
Left downwind for runway 31, staying in the pattern.
And flaps up. Trim. There we are. Back up to 120 miles an hour. Nine gallons per hour. We're doing 150 knots. I get yes. And all the cylinder head temperatures are pretty much even. It's 20 degrees cooler. Number 3 is 20 degrees cooler. Those cow flaps should get some more speed out of it. 54 knots. I only hope that my trip will be this smooth to Florida on Friday. So got like 6 days left to be leaving for Florida. Hopefully we'll be able to get out of here. If we don't, we don't. We'll have to leave Saturday. If we don't leave Saturday, we'll leave on Easter. If we don't leave on Easter, we'll leave on Monday. But, you know, I heard once on YouTube once, Jimmy from Jimmy's World said something pretty awesome.
Cessna 1261 uniform, turning left downwind, runway 31, staying in the pattern.
Yeah, he said, if you have time to spare, go by air, which makes tons of sense. So my hope is that we can get out of here and go to start heading down. And if we get to Florida or Tennessee or whatever, or not Florida, but Georgia or Tennessee, we'll camp out. We'll land and cover the plane, put the tarp on, and we'll go. We'll go to a hotel and just hang out and find interesting things in the town. So, making our turn, and Ames traffic, Mooney 875 is 5 miles to the northeast, inbound for runway 31, Ames. All right, so that should let 2 gallons per hour, doing 103 knots. Get better gas mileage than that. 1.4 miles a gallon. Gallons per hour. Let's do this way. And we will come back this way. Doing this, extending my distance that I gotta fly to get down, because that was too high, too close. So we'll get you the runway shot here. This is Ames. Probably
Ames traffic, Cessna 1261 uniform, just off runway 31, watching for the Mooney. Ames.
Just off runway 31. Ames traffic, Mooney 875 is 1 mile to the northeast, gonna cross midfield, enter a left downwind for runway 31, Ames. And I got you in sight, you're over Highway 30 now.
Do you want to go before me?
Yeah, I'll probably make it before you if you're gonna extend your upwind there.
extending upwind.
Ames traffic, Mooney 875 is turning final for runway 31 Ames. Props full forward, mixtures full rich. We're coming in. Coming in, coming in, coming in. A lot faster than that Cherokee was. And we'll bounce over the runway here. We're going to go ahead and taxi down a ways. That way I can get closer to the hangars. All right, we're back. Back, baby. I'm going to clean up the aircraft, too, while the oil's draining a little bit. My hope is that the hose that I bought will fit that little fitting, but we will find out. We will see.
Okay, I just got done draining the oil out of this thing. And this is how you drain it. There is in there a quick connect that you put a hose on, push it up, and it just starts draining. It's a valve that opens up, drains out that little black hose there. The black hose comes down through here, comes down through my cow flap, and into the drain bin. So that's how you drain it. Pretty stoked that it worked so well, and it drained out pretty fast. I think it only took me like 5 minutes to get all this oil drained out of it. Tomorrow we'll put the oil filter in, fill it with oil, start it up, and make sure we don't have any leaks. And that will be an oil change for the Mooney. Pretty awesome, pretty slick, pretty easy. Not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. So we're going to put this thing to bed, we'll jump back in the car and head home, and we'll come revisit this thing tomorrow. All right, we made it to day number 2 for the oil change on this particular motor. We'll turn down the 90s hip hop. Anyway, this is I removed all the cowlings out of this thing, and I also moved the top part of it. It's all sitting on the ground over there. This is my Lycoming 0360. This is a 4-cylinder motor. Got 2 cylinders on this side, 2 cylinders on the other side. These are cylinders. It is an opposing cylinder, so they shoot out to the side versus shooting up and down, like or up in the air, like some inline 6s or some V6s. This is actually an opposing cylinder, so they come sideways. And this is underneath. This is kind of strange, and I thought this was weird, but this is the way the engine works. This is actually the oil pan. So the oil pan sits directly underneath the motor itself, which is this thing. Then underneath the oil pan is the carburetor, which is that thing right there. So the carburetor actually shoots up through the oil pan itself and goes into the engine. So it's kind of unique in the fact that the carburetor sits on the bottom of the motor instead of the top, but it does on this particular engine, which is kind of cool. And today, since we got the oil all drained, we are going to remove this thing, this white thing, which is the oil filter. And it is safety strapped on, or safety wired on, and there's a little safety wire in here. I don't know if you can see that, but it is there. It is a little steel wire right there, and it's connected to the filter itself. So we were going to have to cut that first and then remove the filter with a 1-inch wrench, which I have. And so you're asking yourself, when I remove that filter, it's going to drip oil. Well, you're right, it's going to drip oil. It's going to drip oil down in my engine compartment there. I don't want that to happen, so I made this. This is basically a piece of PVC that I cut the end out, and what I'm going to do is shove this thing underneath of it. That's going to be like a little channel there. That little channel will run down, the oil will run down and run off to the side of the motor, and what I'm going to do is just shove this thing underneath here and hopefully be able to catch the oil that comes out of from underneath that filter. And since everything goes downhill, this thing will go downhill, and I'll put my pan right here on the ground, and hopefully this will go like I'm thinking it'll go. However, that never happens because, well, life. So we're going to get started on this thing. I'm also going to today replace this. This is a valve and a oil check valve, if you will, that goes up in place of this one. This one was a little wet, and so and it's right here. It was a little wet. Basically, it allows you to quick drain the oil without having to have oil spill all down the engine compartment there. So I'm going to replace that, and hopefully that's going to work and fix my problem with the oil leak, small oil leak that was in there. It's not fun when you have oil leaking and then coming out and then going underneath and coating the underside, although it does create the anti-rust inhibitor spray off the back, but we don't want oil to be going everywhere. But hopefully we'll get this stuff done. It shouldn't take long, I'm not thinking, so we'll get started on it. All right, here's the moment of truth. Pulling the filter out. I've got my PVC underneath there. Hopefully we're going to catch some oil. We will see. See if my plan works. Otherwise I'm going to have to wipe up a lot of oil. So here we go. Alright, come on, get it on there. Yeah, let's try this. Maybe. There it is, it's on. There it is. Twist. And it's coming off. Slowly. Give me. Give me. There we go. Now it's get off on the hand. Get off. Spin it off with your hand. Come on, baby. Why am I not seeing oil? There it is. Ooh, this might be working. This might be working. Ho ho ho. I think it's working. If you look down in there, you can see the oil in the tube, and it's running through the tube. My hope is that it's not leaking everywhere in the bottom, but I'm afraid to look. I don't want to have to clean. Alright, I'm just twisting this thing off slowly, and every time I twist it, a little more oil comes out. Yes! That worked. I think that's awesome. And it's spinning off here. All right, filter's off. All right, got the oil changed, dripping out into this. Got not the oil changed, but the oil drained. And on the side of the filter itself, there's a little place where you can put the hours that are actually on the aircraft, the tachometer, so you can make sure that you change it within 50 hours, and it's written right here on the side. So this is what the filter looks like. It's pretty simple. It's just like a car one. It's got the seal on it. We just got to make sure we get that good and lubed up before we put it on, and we should be good to go. I like it. And then we'll safety wire it in. We're gonna get to the other side and cut all the safety wire. The safety wire, part of it's still on it, and the safety wire actually connects on these little tabs here. Basically what safety wire does is it keeps it from spinning back out. So once you tighten it in, tight, you safety wire it so that way it won't come back out. So there's the filter. So this is pretty simple. A little easier than some cars, I'll tell you that. Pretty cool though. Okay, after cleaning out the engine compartment because a little bit of oil did spill, we are gonna add oil. And this is the type of oil. We're gonna put 6 quarts of it in there. It is XC 2050 weight aviation motor oil. So this is the stuff you put in this engine, and you can see how thick it is. It is thick, and it doesn't want to go down the drain very well, or down the funnel. So there's 1 quart. Aviation cam guard. This stuff is one of the only additives you can use that's FAA approved for your engine. So it says 1.6 ounces per quart. I put 6 ounces in. I need to put 4 more in, so I need to get down to the 12 line. This stuff pours a lot easier. And we gave ourselves an extra 2 ounces. I'll put this back inside the plane. This will be my, every time I add oil, I'll add that to it as well. All right, we are in the aircraft. Needs to be cleaned out. I'm dirty. I'm changing the oil. I'm gonna start this motor up and see if we can get the oil pressure. We need oil pressure. We're gonna heat it up, and then we'll check for leaks and make sure nothing's goofy. So we'll go ahead and turn on master. We will turn mixture full rich, turn on the pump. Pump's working. Pump it 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll crack the throttle and we'll clear the prop. Clear the prop! No oil pressure yet, no oil pressure yet. It's coming back up. Oil pressure is good. All right, I like it. Woohoo, got it all done. Changed the oil, 6 quarts. Got some things packed up, got some things cleaned up in the engine compartment, engine bay where I had some oil leaks. Got those fixed, ran it, no leaks whatsoever on the places I fixed, so we should be good to go. Hopefully we'll have a safe trip down to Florida in a couple days. Hoping the weather changes, gets better for us. But yeah, this. I think we're ready to go. Got to put a good oil pressure, good everything. So just got to say a prayer and make sure that this thing makes it in one piece down to Florida. So it's now time to go home, and everything is irie, man. Everything be irie. So thanks for watching. It's been a lot of fun. Learning experience, changing the oil, doing little tricks here and there, especially with the PVC pipe deal. That was pretty awesome. I'm excited to burn some fuel, baby. Take Take care. Have a great week. We'll see you soon.